Captain Alex Mercer had faced countless dangers in his life. He had navigated asteroid storms, negotiated peace treaties between warring colonies, and even survived a shipboard fire that should have ended him. But nothing had prepared him for the day he was told he was engaged to an alien princess. The invitation had arrived like a puzzle he could not solve. A shimmering message blinked on his ship's communicator. Captain Alex Mercer, you are requested to attend a ceremonial gathering at the Seraphine Empire's capital. Your presence is required for matters of galactic law. Failure to appear may result in diplomatic complications. Alex had raised an eyebrow, running a hand through his messy brown hair. Diplomatic complications? That sounded serious. But the last thing he expected was what awaited him on the floating palace above the crystal blue planet of Seraphis. The palace was breathtaking. Towering spires of white and silver stretched high into the sky, floating above the clouds on anti-gravity platforms. Light reflected off the crystalline towers in thousands of colors, painting the clouds below like a dream. Alex felt small, human-sized and fragile in the face of such alien majesty. He was greeted by attendants dressed in flowing robes of silver and violet. They led him down a corridor filled with hovering lanterns, each emitting a soft hum. At the end of the corridor, he entered the grand hall, a massive space with walls that sparkled like diamond dust and a ceiling so high it disappeared into mist. And there she was, Princess Lyra. She floated above the ground with a grace that made Alex's stomach twist. Her hair shimmered like liquid silver, and her eyes glowed faintly with a soft lavender light. She smiled, not politely, but as if she had been expecting him all along, and knew something he did not. "Captain Mercer," she said, her voice melodic, "welcome to the Seraphine Empire. I hope your journey was comfortable." Alex bowed awkwardly. It was fine. Thank you, Princess." Lyra laughed softly. "Please call me Lyra. Here, titles weigh too heavily. You must learn to float with us, or you will sink under the weight of our traditions." Before Alex could ask what she meant, a deep voice echoed through the hall. "By the authority of the Seraphine Empire, and in accordance with the galactic Union Law of Matrimonial Alliances, I hereby declare Captain Alex Mercer of the human race as legally betrothed to Princess Lyra Seraphine." Alex froze. "Betrothed?" He blinked rapidly, trying to process the words. "You... what?" he stammered. Lyra's smile widened. "It is written in our law. Any human visiting our capital in an official capacity may, under special circumstances, be bound to one of our princesses. And in your case, the circumstances are exceptional." Alex's mind raced. Exceptional? He hadn't done anything exceptional except survive long enough to arrive here. "Wait," Alex said, stepping back. This is sudden. I didn't agree to anything." The deep voice spoke again, stern and unwavering. "The law does not require agreement, Captain Mercer. Presence constitutes consent." Alex's face turned red. Presence constitutes consent? He felt like he had fallen into a nightmare written by some ancient bureaucrat with no sense of humor. Lyra floated closer, tilting her head, her glowing eyes examining him like a scientist studying a rare specimen. "Do not be afraid, Alex. I have been looking forward to meeting you. The law is only the beginning." "The beginning?" Alex asked, suspicious. "Yes," she said. "For according to ancient Seraphine law, one engagement is never enough. You must also be joined to my sisters, both of them." Alex's jaw dropped. "Sisters? You mean 2 more?" He felt as if his brain had momentarily shut down. Lyra seemed to read his thoughts. "Do not panic, my sisters are interesting. You may find them challenging but also rewarding, or at least less deadly than some of our council members." Alex tried to gather his thoughts. I don't even know you. I'm a human. I can barely..." "You can do more than you think, Captain." Lyra interrupted, her voice firm but kind. "Humans have a strange way of surprising us. You survived in the void of space when your technology failed. You make allies when no one else would. That is why the law has chosen you. You are remarkable." Alex blinked. Remarkable? He swallowed hard. He had never been called remarkable by anyone outside his ship's crew. And now an alien princess was saying it, glowing eyes and all. Before he could respond, attendants appeared, guiding him to a chamber for the ceremonial signing. The chamber was circular, with a holographic map of the galaxy spinning slowly in the center. The head official handed Alex a stylus that seemed more like a wand than a pen. "You need only touch this to the treaty. It binds you legally to Princess Lyra," the official said. Alex looked at it, then back at Lyra. "And what happens if I don't?" The official's tone was polite but final. "You cannot refuse. Galactic law is clear." Alex exhaled slowly. "Of course." He touched the stylus to the glowing treaty, and a wave of light spread across the holographic map. A soft chime echoed. "It's done." Lyra's smile softened. "Welcome, Alex. You are now officially part of the Seraphine family. We will begin training you in our ways." Alex blinked. "Training me?" "Yes," she said. "You must learn our customs, our rules, our etiquette, and of course meet my sisters." Alex groaned inwardly. "I didn't even get a chance to eat lunch." Over the next few hours, Alex was led through the palace halls. He marveled at the floating gardens, the crystalline fountains, and the air that shimmered faintly with energy. Lyra spoke little, allowing him to observe, but when she did, her words were sharp yet instructive. Finally, they arrived at another wing of the palace. 2 doors opened, revealing 2 very different figures. The first was Princess Selene, tall and commanding, her silver hair tied tightly in a braid. Her violet eyes glimmered with intelligence and calculation. She studied Alex like a chess player analyzing a pawn. The second was Princess Mira, shorter and more lively, with golden hair that seemed to flicker like sunlight on water. Her eyes sparkled with mischief. She grinned. "Ah," Lyra said, gesturing to them. "Alex, meet Selene and Mira. They are unique. I hope you find them manageable." Alex swallowed hard. I hope so too." Selene stepped forward, voice cold but not unkind. "You have been declared our companion, human. Tell me, how do you intend to survive in our world?" Alex swallowed. I guess I'll do my best?" Mira laughed, a sound like bells. "Your best? That will be fun to watch. I already like you, human." Alex blinked. "You like me?" "Yes," Mira said, spinning in a playful circle. "You're strange and small and human. That makes you perfect." Selene raised an eyebrow. "Perfect is not the word I would use, but perhaps you will prove useful." Alex looked at Lyra, who was watching silently, her glowing eyes thoughtful. He realized that he had stepped into a world that was far more complex than any negotiation or space battle he had ever faced, and somehow, he would have to survive it. He took a deep breath. "Humans have a way of surviving anything," he told himself. "I can do this." Lyra floated closer, placing a hand, soft and warm despite her alien glow, on his shoulder. "Do not worry, Alex. You are not alone. We will guide you, and soon you will understand that our law is strange, yes, but not cruel. You have been chosen for a reason." Alex nodded slowly. "Okay, I'll try. I really will." Lyra smiled. "Good. That is all I ask for now." As the sun of Seraphis dipped below the floating towers, Alex looked out at the horizon. 3 princesses, 3 glowing eyes watching him, and one very strange law that had thrown him headfirst into a world of alien politics, adventure, and challenge. He felt a flicker of excitement amidst the panic. He did not know what the future held, but he knew one thing: humanity had survived worse. And Alex Mercer would not fail. The adventure had only just begun. Alex Mercer had survived asteroid storms, alien skirmishes, and a ship malfunction that should have killed him. but nothing in his life had prepared him for the Seraphine sisters. After the ceremonial engagement, Lyra led Alex through the palace's floating corridors. The walls glimmered with liquid light, and the air hummed softly as if the building itself were alive. Alex tried to keep pace with Lyra's graceful steps, but the floating palace made him feel unsteady. Every step felt like walking on clouds. "Welcome to the Sisters' Wing," Lyra said, her eyes glowing faintly in the dim light. "It is time for you to meet them properly." Alex swallowed. His heart was racing. He had already met them briefly during the engagement, but he sensed that this meeting would be different. Lyra's words carried weight. This was a test. As they approached the first chamber, Lyra paused. "Selena, Alex is here. Are you ready?" The door slid open silently, revealing Celine standing tall, her silver braid coiled perfectly down her back. Her violet eyes glimmered with sharp intelligence. She did not smile. Instead, she studied Alex with a piercing gaze that made him feel like he had been turned inside out. "Captain Mercer," she said, her voice smooth and precise. "You have been declared my companion. I will be assessing your capabilities. This is not a matter of ceremony, it is a matter of survival and adaptability. Do you understand?" Alex nodded quickly. "Yes. I'll do my best." Celine tilted her head slightly, as if measuring his honesty. "Good. Your first test is simple. Observe this simulation." With a flick of her hand, the walls of the chamber shimmered, and a holographic map of the Seraphine Empire appeared. Small points of light represented cities, trade routes, and defense stations. Celine's voice cut through the hum of the display. "A neighboring system is planning a rebellion. Your task: allocate resources, deploy ships, and prevent chaos without violating Seraphine law. You have 10 minutes. Alex blinked. 10 minutes? On a holographic map he had never seen before with alien laws he didn't understand? He took a deep breath. He had handled worse on his starship. Think logically. That's what humans do best. He studied the holographic map carefully. He noticed patterns the simulation had not intended him to see. Certain trade routes would naturally slow rebels. Some cities could be isolated without force, and a small fleet strategically placed could prevent a large rebellion. "Sir?" Celine's voice drew him back. "I have a plan," Alex said. "Instead of attacking, we isolate key rebel nodes, cut off supply lines, and use diplomacy where possible. We avoid unnecessary violence." Celine raised an eyebrow, her lips twitching as if fighting a smile. "Interesting. You do think differently than expected. Proceed." Alex made his moves on the holographic interface. The lights blinked, showing cities stabilizing and rebel activity dropping. When the simulation ended, Celine studied the results, her eyes narrowed. "Not perfect, but efficient. You may survive this court, for now," she said finally, her tone grudgingly approving. Alex exhaled, relieved. "Thank you, I think." Before he could relax, Lyra guided him to the next chamber. "Now it is time for Mira." The door opened and Alex was met with laughter. Mira spun in a playful circle, her golden hair shimmering like sunlight. Her eyes sparkled with mischief. "Finally, the human," she exclaimed. "I've been waiting to see how strange you really are." Alex swallowed nervously. "Strange?" "Yes." Mira clapped her hands together. "You're small, human, and unpredictable. That's exactly what makes this fun." Mira waved her hand, and the room transformed. Floating platforms hovered in zero gravity, spinning slowly above the floor. "Your task," Mira said, grinning, "is to cross the platforms without falling. Simple, right?" Alex glanced around. The platforms were wide enough to stand on, but they floated and spun slowly. A misstep would send him tumbling into a soft energy field below. He had never done anything like this. Okay," Alex said, stepping carefully onto the first platform. His boots squeaked slightly against the alien material. "I can do this." Mira's laughter filled the chamber. "Watch out, Captain. You humans are funny but fragile. I wonder how long you'll last. Alex concentrated, remembering his training in balance and agility on his starship. Slowly, carefully, he moved from one platform to the next. The platforms tilted slightly as he stepped, but he adjusted his weight and continued. Mira's eyes followed him closely, her grin never fading. By the last platform, Alex was sweating, but he had made it. Mira clapped loudly. Bravo! You survived my test. That was impressive. Alex exhaled, trying to catch his breath. Thanks, and I guess luck helped too. Luck? No, Mira said, shaking her head. That was skill. Humans have a strange way of thinking, using their brains instead of just strength. I like that. Alex smiled, feeling a small sense of pride. These alien tests were hard, but he was learning something about their culture and about himself. Lyra watched silently, glowing eyes observing every movement. You are adapting faster than I expected, Alex. That pleases me. Thank you, Alex said. I want to understand your ways. I want to be useful. Celine and Mira exchanged glances. Celine's expression softened slightly. Mira bounced on her toes, clearly pleased. You may have potential, Celine said finally. But potential alone is not enough. You must prove your loyalty, your intelligence, and your courage. Do you understand? Alex nodded firmly. I understand. I will do my best. Mira laughed. Good answer. But do you really know what you're getting into? Life with 3 Seraphine sisters is not easy. We are unique, and you are human. That combination could be explosive. Alex chuckled nervously. I'll try to survive the explosion. Mira's laughter filled the chamber again. You have spirit. That's important. You may yet earn our respect, and maybe even our trust. After the tests, Lyra led Alex back to her chambers. You have done well today. The sisters are intrigued. That is a good start. Alex sank into a chair, feeling the exhaustion of the day. He had faced simulations, gravity-defying platforms, and the intense scrutiny of alien royalty. And yet he felt proud. You humans are strange, Lyra said, floating beside him. You survive by thinking, by adapting. That is why the law chose you. We need someone who can survive us, and you are doing it better than I expected. Alex smiled faintly. Thanks, I just want to do right by you, by your sisters, and by your people. Lyra nodded. You already are. But remember, Alex, the journey is only beginning. You will face challenges far greater than today. And you will need to rely on all your human qualities, your courage, your ingenuity, and yes, even your stubbornness. Alex laughed softly. Stubbornness, huh? That's my strongest quality, apparently. Yes, Lyra said, her voice gentle but firm, and sometimes it will be your greatest weapon. As Alex prepared to rest, he looked out over the floating palace and the glowing city below. He felt small, yes, but he also felt alive. For the first time in a long while, he understood that humans had something special, a spark that even the most advanced alien civilizations could not replicate. Alex Mercer had survived the engagement ceremony and the sisters' tests. He had proven a small measure of skill, courage, and adaptability. But nothing could have prepared him for the challenges of the Seraphine Empire's council. The council chamber was enormous, larger than the grand hall of the palace. Towers of silver stretched high above, and thousands of tiny lights floated in the air, representing council members from across the empire. Each member's gaze was sharp, their alien features unreadable, and their voices carried authority that made Alex feel smaller than a single candle flame. Lyra floated beside him, her glowing eyes calm but intense. This is the Council of 12. They govern the Seraphine Empire alongside me and my sisters. Today you will sit with us as an observer, but know this: what you say will have consequences. Choose carefully. Alex nodded. His mind raced. Observing was easy. Participating was another matter entirely. Humans were not used to being judged by alien eyes that never blinked and could see right through deception. Captain Mercer, Lyra continued. A neighboring system, the Viridians, has threatened to break trade agreements. You will be involved in the discussions. Speak if you must, but be wise, Alex swallowed. Understood. As the council session began, a deep, resonant voice boomed. Princess Lyra, the human is unqualified to participate. He knows nothing of our law or the intricacies of galactic diplomacy. Another voice, thin and sharp, added, We cannot allow a human to influence decisions that affect the Empire. Their kind is unpredictable. Alex felt a wave of nervousness. He was not used to this kind of scrutiny, but he reminded himself, humans survived impossible odds every day. He could do this. Lyra raised her hand, silencing the chamber. The human is here not as a full member, but as a perspective. He is unusual, and that perspective may prove valuable. The council murmured among themselves. Alex looked at the holographic display in the center of the chamber. The map showed Viridian trade routes, supply chains, and defense stations. The council debated furiously in a language Alex partially understood, but he caught enough to understand the problem. The Viridians wanted more resources than the law allowed. The Empire could either fight or negotiate. Alex took a deep breath. He could see what the council did not. The Viridians were bluffing. Their fleet was weak, but their leaders were proud and stubborn. Direct confrontation would cause unnecessary loss of life, but diplomacy could succeed if handled cleverly. He raised his hand and Lyra nodded. Speak, Captain Mercer. All eyes turned to him. His voice felt small in the massive chamber. I believe the Viridians are overextending themselves. If we threaten them openly, they will resist. But if we offer them small concessions, showing goodwill without violating Seraphine law, they may comply willingly. The council erupted in chatter. A human dares give advice, one member hissed. He will ruin everything. Another counselor scoffed. This is foolish. We must show strength. Alex ignored them. He stepped forward, pointing at the holographic. Habison, look here. Their fleet is concentrated in these 3 sectors. Minimal engagement here can create the impression of strength. Meanwhile, we can negotiate in these trade hubs. It saves lives, keeps law intact, and ensures the Empire's interests remain secure. Celine's eyes widened slightly. She leaned forward, impressed despite herself. Mira bounced slightly on her toes, clearly excited. Lyra's expression remained calm but approving. The council debated. Hours passed. Some members resisted, insisting humans could not understand galactic law. But Alex persisted, calmly explaining his reasoning. Slowly, the council began to see the logic. Finally, the leader of the council, a tall Seraphine with silver hair like Alex had seen in palace halls, nodded. Perhaps there is merit in the human's approach. It is unconventional, but effective. Alex exhaled quietly. One small victory. But he knew this was only the beginning. After the council session, Lyra led Alex to a private chamber. You did well, she said, her glowing eyes softening. Even Celine seemed impressed. That is no small feat. But remember, the council is only one part of our world. Politics extend beyond these walls. And there are those who would see you fail, simply because you are human. Alex rubbed his temples. I didn't expect diplomacy to be this complicated. Lyra laughed softly. No one does. But humans have a gift, creativity and flexibility. You see solutions we do not. That is why you were chosen. Before Alex could respond, the chamber doors opened, and Selene and Mira entered. Celine's eyes were sharp. You are clever, human. Perhaps too clever for your own good. You see weaknesses in our systems, and exploit them. Do you understand the danger? I understand, Alex replied. I'm trying to help, not exploit, I promise. Mira bounced on the balls of her feet, laughing. Clever is good. I like clever. It's fun to watch a human think in ways we don't expect. You are unpredictable, and that is exciting. Alex smiled faintly. I guess I'm full of surprises. Celine's eyes softened slightly. Surprising, yes, but do not think charm alone will protect you. You will need intelligence, patience, and courage. All three are required to survive here. Alex nodded. I will do my best. The sisters left, leaving Alex with Lyra. She floated closer, her gaze thoughtful. Alex, the Viridian situation will escalate if mishandled. You must be ready for that. Tomorrow you will accompany me to the negotiation. Your perspective may be the difference between war and peace. Alex gulped. Tomorrow? Okay. I'll be ready. Lyra nodded. Good. Rest now. You will need your strength. And remember, humans are capable of more than they think. Alex lay in the soft, glowing bed of his chamber, staring at the ceiling. He had survived alien tests, council scrutiny, and the strange customs of the palace. Yet he knew the real test was only beginning. Diplomacy, strategy, and survival would all collide tomorrow. He thought about his human crew, the countless times they had adapted to impossible situations. He thought about humanity itself, small, fragile, and yet unstoppable when clever and brave. He drew strength from that knowledge. The next day, Alex accompanied Lyra in her star cruiser to the Viridian sector. The fleet sparkled against the darkness of space, a mix of seraphine technology and human ingenuity. He noticed subtle weaknesses the Viridian ships had left exposed and quietly relayed them to Lyra. You see things clearly, Lyra said, almost whispering. Your insight may save lives today. Alex nodded. I hope so. I want to do right. Not just by you, but by everyone here. The Viridian delegates boarded the cruiser. They were tall, green-skinned, with eyes that gleamed like polished jade. Their leader, a stern-looking figure named Arthon, spoke first. Princess Lyra, we are displeased with the current agreements. We demand more resources immediately. Alex observed quietly. He noticed that Arthon's fleet position was defensive, almost hesitant. He realized Arthon wanted concessions, but feared direct confrontation. Lyra began formal negotiations, her words careful and precise. Alex quietly suggested minor concessions and gestures of goodwill, human ideas, simple yet effective. Hours passed. Tension filled the room. Arthon's jaw tightened. He seemed ready to reject all offers. Then Alex spoke softly, stepping forward. Sir, Alex said calmly, you have a strong position. But consider this. A small compromise now ensures long-term stability in trade. Refuse, and both our people suffer. You have the power to choose a path of strength that does not destroy your fleet or ours. Arthon paused. He studied Alex's human expression. Honest, earnest, and steady. Something in the human's demeanor seemed trustworthy. Finally, he nodded. Very well, Arthon said. We accept your terms. But know this. Humans are unusual. Alex smiled faintly. Thank you. We may be unusual, but we do what is necessary. Lyra's eyes glimmered with pride. Alex, you have prevented a war today. That is no small achievement. Back in the palace, Selene and Mira awaited him. Celine's gaze softened. You did not fail, human. In fact, you may have done better than any Seraphine might have expected. Mira clapped her hands. I knew you could do it. Clever, brave, and a little stubborn. Perfect. Human combination, Alex laughed softly. For the first time since arriving, he felt like he truly belonged. Not because he had changed to fit them, but because he had shown the value of being human. Lyra joined them, floating gracefully. Alex, today, you proved that humans can succeed, even in worlds far beyond their own. The galaxy will take note of your abilities, and perhaps the law chose wisely. Alex smiled faintly. I just did what humans do. We survive. We think. We adapt. I guess that's enough sometimes. Lyra's eyes glowed warmly. It is more than enough. And tomorrow, there will be more challenges. But today, you have shown what humanity can do. That is reason enough for hope. Alex looked out over the glowing city of Seraphis. Small, fragile, human, yet capable of changing the galaxy itself. He knew the journey ahead would test him even further, but he felt ready because humans always found a way. The days after the Viridian negotiation were a whirlwind for Alex Mercer. The council had been impressed, the sisters were cautiously respectful, and even Lyra seemed pleased. But there was no time to rest. Lyra summoned Alex early one morning. "Today," she said, her eyes glowing faintly, "you will join Celine and Mira on a series of tests outside the palace. They are not simple exercises. They are adventures. You will need your wits, your courage, and your human ingenuity." Alex swallowed. He had survived zero-gravity simulations, alien council politics, and palace ceremonies, but he could already feel the tension in his stomach. "Adventures?" he asked cautiously. "Yes," Lyra said, smiling softly, "and you will see why humans are exceptional." Within hours, Alex found himself aboard a sleek Seraphine exploration vessel with Celine at the helm and Mira bouncing with excitement. The destination? Carrion 7, a jungle-like moon on the outskirts of Seraphine space. The planet's dense forests were known to be dangerous, filled with aggressive flora, unpredictable weather, and creatures that could disarm even the most experienced. "Seraphine explorers, you'll need to rely on your senses and your brain," Celine said sharply. "The jungle does not forgive mistakes." Mira laughed. "Mistakes are fun, but yes, Alex, don't get eaten, okay?" Alex shook his head, a mix of nervousness and determination. "I'll do my best." The landing was turbulent. The jungle planet's atmosphere was thick and humid, and strange bioluminescent plants lit the forest floor. Alex's human senses were overwhelmed, but he forced himself to focus. Their first challenge was simple on the surface. Locate and retrieve an alien artifact hidden deep within the jungle. But the artifact was protected by natural traps, snapping vines, camouflaged pits, and swarms of small flying predators. Celine moved with precision, analyzing patterns and avoiding hazards with minimal effort. Mira bounded ahead, laughing as she tested Alex's reactions. "Watch out, that vine moves faster than you think." Alex took a deep breath and studied the patterns of the jungle. He noticed that some plants reacted to sound and movement. Carefully, he mimicked Celine's precise movements, adjusting to the jungle's rhythm. When a vine shot toward him, he ducked instinctively and rolled, something he had learned during human martial training. "Impressive," Celine muttered under her breath. Mira clapped loudly. "I knew you were clever. Humans are surprising." After hours of careful maneuvering, Alex located the artifact, a glowing crystal embedded in a stone pedestal. As he approached, a large predator, a towering insectoid creature, emerged, blocking the path. It hissed and advanced. Alex froze for a moment, then remembered Lyra's words. Humans adapt. He scanned the surroundings and noticed a pattern in the creature's movements. Using a piece of broken branch, he tapped a nearby rock to create a sound at the far end of the clearing. The creature turned toward the noise, giving Alex a chance to grab the crystal and retreat. Mira clapped and laughed. "Did you see that? Clever human trick. I like that." Celine's expression was unreadable, but she nodded slightly. "Resourceful. That may save your life again someday." Returning to the ship, Alex felt a rush of pride. He had survived the jungle and impressed both sisters. But the adventures were not over. Next came the zero-gravity challenge. Celine led them to a training chamber aboard the exploration vessel where platforms floated in midair. Alex had encountered this before with Mira, but this was different. They had to retrieve energy cores while dodging moving obstacles, all while floating in zero gravity. Alex concentrated, recalling techniques he had used on his starship during emergency drills. He moved deliberately, using handholds and careful pushes to navigate. Mira darted past him with laughter, and Celine moved like a shadow, precise and controlled. Alex reached the first energy core and grabbed it, but a sudden spin of a platform sent him tumbling. Instinctively, he adjusted, grabbed a handhold, and corrected his trajectory. He completed the course, slightly bruised but successful. Mira laughed joyfully. Humans are stubborn, I like that. You never give up. Celine's eyes softened slightly. Persistence is a quality even humans have. In excess. Alex smiled faintly. It's what keeps us alive. Finally, they faced a diplomatic challenge. The explorers had intercepted a group of alien merchants who were trying to cheat Seraphine law. Alex was asked to negotiate a fair solution without angering the merchants or breaking rules. He observed the merchants carefully. They were proud and sly, expecting to manipulate the Seraphine sisters. Alex thought about human negotiation techniques, listening carefully, finding common ground, appealing to self-interest. He approached calmly. I understand you want the best for your people. The Empire has rules, yes, but we can work together to ensure everyone benefits. If we follow these terms, you gain access to trade routes without penalty. Everyone wins. The merchants hesitated, then nodded. Alex had solved the problem without force, using only logic, empathy, and human reasoning. Celine's eyes glimmered with respect. Mira bounced happily. See? Clever humans. Back at the palace, Lyra awaited them. You have done well, she said. You adapt, you think, and you survive. That is why humans are remarkable. Alex smiled faintly. I'm just doing what humans do. We adapt. We survive. That's all. Lyra shook her head softly. It is more than enough. Today you proved your human worth. You have shown the sisters that humanity can meet the challenges of the galaxy. Alex looked at Celine and Mira, who were quietly observing him. He realized something important. The tests, the adventures, and the challenges were not only for his survival, they were building trust and bonds. Slowly, he was becoming more than just a visitor. He was becoming part of their world. Celine's gaze softened. You are different from any Seraphine I have met. You do not rely on power alone. You use thought, reasoning, and heart. That is valuable. Mira clapped her hands. I like humans, especially this one. Alex chuckled. I'll try to live up to that. Lyra's eyes glimmered with pride. Tomorrow, you will face greater challenges. But today, you have proven one thing. Humanity is capable of more than anyone could imagine. Alex felt a warm sense of pride. He had survived the jungle, zero gravity, and complex negotiations. He had proven that humans could think, adapt, and solve problems in ways the most advanced alien minds might not expect. And for the first time, he felt a true connection with the Seraphine sisters. They were no longer distant, untouchable beings. They were allies, partners, and, in a strange way, friends. As the sun of Seraphis set over the floating towers, Alex looked out from the palace balcony. 3 alien sisters, each brilliant, unique, and formidable, watched the horizon with him. He felt small and human, but proud, capable, and ready for whatever the galaxy would throw next, because humans always found a way. The days had grown longer, the tests and challenges more complex, yet Alex Mercer had survived every trial. The sisters, Lyra, Celine, and Mira, had seen him navigate alien politics, survive deadly jungles, conquer zero-gravity courses, and negotiate with stubborn alien merchants. He had adapted, learned, and proven the value of being human in ways even the Seraphine Empire had not expected. Now, Alex stood in the palace's grand hall, facing the final step of the engagement law. The hall was filled with Seraphine nobles, council members, and ambassadors from across the galaxy. Their eyes gleamed, curious and cautious, as Alex prepared himself for the ceremony. Lyra floated to his side, her silver hair catching the light. Today, Alex, the law will be completed, but know this. The law is strange, yes, but it is not cruel. It has brought you here not just as a human, but as a bridge between worlds. Alex nodded. I understand. hope I can honor. Your people and your trust. Celine approached, her sharp violet eyes softened with respect. You have proven your worth, human, not by strength alone, but by thought, courage, and loyalty. Those qualities matter more than law or tradition. Mira bounced beside them, golden hair glowing. And you survived me. That is a big deal. I think you're fun, clever, and human enough for all of us. Alex chuckled nervously. Thank you, I'll try to live up to it. The head official stepped forward, holographic treaty in hand. Captain Alex Mercer by Seraphine law, and by the consent of the princesses Lyra, Celine, and Mira, you are formally bound to the sisters. This completes the engagement. Alex took a deep breath. He remembered every test, every adventure, every council meeting and jungle trek. He had survived alien scrutiny, diplomacy, and danger, and now he was here completing a law that had seemed impossible. He touched the glowing stylus to the treaty. Light spread across the hall, illuminating the faces of the council and the audience. A soft hum filled the chamber as the law was acknowledged throughout the empire. Lyra's hand rested gently on his shoulder. It is done, Alex. You are officially part of the family. Not because the law demanded it, but because you earned it. Celine nodded. The human has proven that strength alone is not enough. Intelligence, courage, and moral integrity define a leader. You have shown all three. Mira laughed, clapping her hands. And charm. Don't forget charm. Alex smiled faintly, feeling a mixture of relief and pride. He had not only survived the law, but he had shown the Empire the power of human qualities. The celebration began. Music filled the hall. Alien melodies, soft and strange, yet beautiful. Nobles and ambassadors congratulated Alex, curious about the human who had conquered so many challenges. He answered their questions politely, careful not to offend, yet showing humanity's cleverness and warmth. Outside, the city of Seraphis sparkled beneath a sky of twin suns. Alex floated on a balcony with the sisters. Lyra leaned slightly against him. The galaxy will remember this day, she said softly. Not for the law, but for what it represents, humanity's place among us. Alex looked at her. I didn't do this alone. Your guidance, your tests, they helped me survive and learn. I hope I can continue to honor that. Lyra smiled. You already have, but there will be more challenges. The galaxy does not pause for anyone, but you have proven that humans can meet them. Celine approached. Tomorrow you will join me in strategic planning. Your insight into unpredictable variables will be needed for upcoming missions. Mira bounced with excitement. And tomorrow you'll join me for exploration. Maybe we find something dangerous or fun. Either way, you're with me, human. Alex laughed softly. I'm starting to think being human is harder than I thought. Lyra's eyes glimmered with warmth. No, Alex, being human is your greatest strength. You think differently, adapt faster, and inspire loyalty where others would fail. That is why you were chosen. Not for strength, not for skill alone, but for your heart and mind. As the celebration continued, Alex felt a sense of belonging. He realized something he had never understood before. Humans did not need to match the strength or technology of other species to matter. They needed to be clever, compassionate, and courageous, and in that they could achieve greatness. The sisters joined him on the balcony, each expressing admiration in their own way. Lyra's gaze was proud, Celine's calculated but approving, and Mira's full of joy. Together they represented the Empire, the law, and a bond that transcended tradition. Alex looked at them, thinking of every challenge he had faced. Each obstacle had taught him something: patience, courage, empathy, and creativity. And in the end, those qualities had earned him respect, trust, and a place in the Seraphine Empire. You humans are strange, Lyra said, floating slightly closer. Small, fragile, yet capable of extraordinary things. Today you have proven what we always suspected. Your species can survive, adapt, and thrive in the galaxy. That is reason enough for hope." Alex smiled. "Thank you for believing in me. I've learned more than I ever imagined. And I hope I can continue to live up to it." Celine's eyes softened further. "You will. Humans have a resilience we do not always understand. That is your gift." Mira laughed. "And your stubbornness. Never forget that's important too." Alex laughed with them. For the first time since arriving on Seraphis, he felt at home. Not just among the sisters, not just in the palace, but as a human in a galaxy full of strange and wonderful possibilities. The celebration continued late into the night. Stories were shared, music played, and laughter echoed through the hall. Alex noticed that the council members who had doubted him now looked at him with respect. The sisters' bonds had strengthened, and humanity had earned a place in Seraphine history, not through force, not through law alone, but through courage, intelligence, and compassion. Later, as the halls quieted, Alex and the sisters sat in a small garden floating above the palace. Light from the twin suns filtered through crystalline plants, casting gentle patterns on the ground. Lyra looked at him. "Alex, the galaxy will challenge you again. But today, you have shown that humans can face anything and adapt. That is more valuable than power or skill." Alex nodded. "I've learned that humans do what they must to survive, and to help others survive too. I've learned that we can make a difference even in a galaxy that seems too big and too dangerous." Celine placed a hand on his shoulder. "You have earned our respect, Alex. And in doing so, you have earned a place with us. That is no small achievement." Mira leaned against him playfully. "And don't forget, you're fun. You survived all my tricks, and that is a huge deal." Alex laughed, feeling a warmth he had never known. For all the danger, all the tests, and all the challenges, he realized that humanity's greatest gift was not technology or strength. It was heart, courage, and the ability to inspire trust. Dawn approached. Alex looked out over the floating city of Seraphis, sparkling beneath twin suns. He felt small, yes, but powerful in a different way. Humans were not the strongest, not the fastest, not the most advanced, but clever, adaptable, and capable of greatness. And Alex Mercer had proven it. The galaxy was vast, strange, and sometimes dangerous. But with the sisters by his side, guidance from Lyra, and the enduring qualities of humanity within him, Alex knew he could face whatever came next. For the first time in a long while, Alex smiled, truly and fully. He had survived alien law, won respect, built trust, and shown the galaxy the power of being human.